AI. I mean, it's everywhere, right? It's like our co-pilot for, well, pretty much everything. But here's the thought. What if all this convenience has a hidden price tag? Today, we're going to dig into what AI might actually be doing to the most powerful tool we have, our own brain. Think about it. You probably use it to get a leg up at work, to make your chores go faster, maybe even to learn something new. And that's great. But it also brings up this massive question. As we keep handing over more and more of our thinking to these tools, what's happening inside our own heads? Is our reliance on AI, fundamentally changing the way we think? Okay, so first up, let's dive into the behavioral side of things. How are our actual actions and abilities changing in this new AI-driven world we're all living in?
The big idea we need to wrap our heads around is something called cognitive offloading. Sounds a bit technical, but it's really just a fancy way of saying we're outsourcing our brain work to technology, which, let's be honest, we all do. The best analogy, think of your brain like a muscle. If you stop making it do the heavy lifting, problem solving, remembering stuff, it's going to get weaker. Use it or lose it, right?
And this isn't just a theory. We've actually got data to back it up. A pretty recent study looked at over 600 people, and what they found was, well, it's a direct and, frankly, kind of concerning link. The results were crystal clear. The more someone used AI tools in their day-to-day life, the lower their scores were on critical thinking tests.
So the researchers wanted to know, okay, what really impacts our critical thinking the most? So they used a machine learning model to figure it out, and this chart basically shows you the answer. Look at this. The single biggest negative factor, and it's not even close, was how much people used AI tools. I mean, it was a bigger deal than someone's level of education or even how much they relied on AI to make decisions. Wow.
And listen, this isn't just about numbers on a chart. This is what people are actually experiencing. One person in the study just nailed it. They said, the more I use AI, the less I feel the need to problem solve on my own. It's like I'm losing my ability to think critically. I mean, that really brings the data down to a human level, doesn't it? All right, so that's the behavior. But what's really going on inside our heads? Like, what's happening to the actual wiring? Now we get to shift gears and look at the neurological evidence to see what this whole cognitive offloading thing literally looks like in the brain. So get this. Researchers at MIT set up this really cool experiment. They had people write essays and split them into 3 groups. Group 1, brains only, that's it. Group 2 could use a search engine. And Group 3 got to use a large language model, an LLM, something like ChatGPT. And the whole time, they were all hooked up to an EEG cap measuring their brain activity. And these are the scans of their brains. This is what they found. Basically, you're looking at maps of brain connectivity. The brighter the colors, the thicker the lines, the more the different parts of the brain are firing and talking to each other. Now, check out the brain-only group on the right. It is lit up like a Christmas tree. Then look over at the group that used the LLM. It's way dimmer. Their brain connectivity was the lowest of all 3 groups. Period.
I mean, to put it simply, the difference was just stark. The people using just their brains, their scans showed these strong, complex, widespread networks all firing together. But the folks using the LLM, the researchers saw the weakest overall brain network connection. Their brains were literally less connected when they were outsourcing the work to AI.
And this wasn't just happening on the scan, It had real-world consequences. The people who used the LLM said they felt a really low sense of ownership over what they wrote. And here's the kicker. They were way worse at remembering and quoting from the essays they had just finished. The information just wasn't sinking in. But wait, it gets even more interesting. This is the twist. The researchers thought, okay, but what happens when we take the AI away? And this is where we see the real cost of all that offloading. So in the next session, they had that same LLM group write another essay. But this time, no tools, just their brains. Now, you'd expect their brain activity to just bounce right back up, right? To look like the brain-only group from before? Well, it didn't. It actually stayed low. Their brain connectivity didn't fully recover. It was kind of stuck in this underengaged middle gear. The researchers gave this a name, cognitive debt. It's this lingering negative effect that sticks around even after you stop using the tool. Let's go back to our muscle analogy. It's like that mental muscle has started to atrophy. So it's not just that you aren't using it in the moment, it's that it's become weaker for the next time you need it to.
So, look, the takeaway here is not, oh no, ditch all AI. Not at all. It's about figuring out how to build a smarter partnership with it. It's all about learning how to use AI to augment our intelligence, not just replace it.
What we've looked at today it's pretty powerful, right? We have two totally different studies here. One looked at people's behavior, and the other looked directly at their brainwaves. And yet they both point to the exact same conclusion. Relying too much on AI, doing too much of that cognitive offloading, can actually make our critical thinking skills weaker.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we make AI a true partner? Well, first, think of it as a brainstorming buddy. Use it to spark ideas, not to do all the thinking for you. Second, you have to be the editor-in-chief. Always question, always verify, and always edit its output. Treat whatever it gives you as a rough first draft, a starting point that you build on. And finally, you gotta go to the mental gym. Intentionally, every now and then, just do a task the hard way. Write that first paragraph yourself from scratch. That's how you keep those mental muscles in shape.
Look, at the end of the day, the challenge isn't about if we should use AI. That ship has sailed. The real challenge is learning how to master it. So the big question I want to leave you with is this. How can you, in your own life, use these incredibly powerful tools not to just offload your thinking, but to actually elevate it? How do we augment our own intelligence instead of just replacing it?